It's time for the Onebar and Lupagus Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings. Welcome to professional football.
All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus Show. I am Onebar with a very somber Lupagus. The Vikings officially start 0-1 to start the season. Let's talk about this now.
Vikings give up 43 points to the Green Bay Packers, scoring 34 themselves. First of all, I mean, is the lack of the preseason to explain this insanely high point total? I mean, it's
no.
Who would have expected this? 43 to 34.
Well, 43 points, and really, when you look at it, the Packers probably should have scored more. They had some real ugly drops on their end.
Montez Spalding had a bunch of drops. They were horrible.
Yeah, and they still smoked us. They probably should have scored about 56 points. They put up 522 yards, 43 points, and the time of possession, I can't even remember. It was like the Packers had it for 41 minutes. We had it for 18. It was an all-out shellacking. There is no way to sugarcoat that. We're going to be talking about what went right, what went wrong. We're going to give out our stud and turd of the game. But let's get into this. What went right? Let's start on a positive note for the Vikings. What went right for the Vikings today?
Not fucking much. Done.
God, he's right. He's right. All right. Lupagus is ornery. I'm gonna when you look at the offensive side for the Vikings, there were some good things that happened. Kirk Cousins did have I would say a pretty damn good game. And
not when it counted.
He had pressure in it. Well, to be fair to him, he was never out there when it did counted. I think he had about two attempts almost till halftime. Kirk Cousins' final stat line: 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 gross pick. He was sacked twice. I thought he actually had a pretty good game when he was out there.
I don't know. In the first half, he looked a little indecisive, especially looking at the last. What was it? In the first half, with about 30 seconds to go, he had a horrible pass where he overthrew a guy. The second pass is when he threw the interception to Jared Alexander, which was he put that in a horrible spot. So I thought when it counted, Kirk Cousins was not on in garbage time. Yeah, he looked okay. But I wonder if we only had a guy who kept stats for us, 34 rushing yards for Kirk Cousins today. That's got to be damn near a career best. He was tucking that thing. It was ugly, but he was running for yardage.
He was running for his life. But to be fair, Cousins had about 4 pass attempts in the first half. That interception was disgusting. But you can't put those 4. You can't put the fact that he didn't have the ball in his hands on him.
No, you can't. But, I mean, that first drive, there's a nice mix. Delvin Cook the line did fine, open up room in the running games. We ran for 134 yards on the ground. So, 2 touchdowns for Cook. So, I mean, the O-line did what they had to do as far as the running game was concerned. The problem was our defense, especially not letting the Packers, what we have.
Whoa. Hold on. This is what went right.
Oh, all right. I'll roll it back. The run game went right. 134 yards on the ground. You got to take that. I thought the O-line played okay for the most part. Even when Cousins, I don't know. I didn't feel like he was overly pressured. I know there was a lot of heat in his face, but I don't know. I thought the O-line did better than I expected, really.
I thought he was pressured the whole game. That pocket was collapsing constantly. The reason he had 34 yards and he's never had it before is because he never runs ever. So that just proves that he was running for his life. I thought our offensive line was crap. Pat Elflein looked gross. Brian O'Neill had an ugly sack. But as far as, again, we got to stay positive here. What went right? Dalvin Cook, only 12 carries, but he actually looked pretty damn good. Usually you want to see him get into that 18 to 25 carry where he really starts going. So he did good. Madison had a good game, 6 for 50. Thielen had a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Thielen was.
And here's the thing. Thielen, everybody knew that Kirk Cousins wants to throw a Thielen, and he was still able to. That opening drive, he hit him twice. 110 yards, 6 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Thielen is definitely number 1 target in this offense, who Kirk Cousins is looking to every single time. He really didn't spread the ball around that much. I mean, Thielen had the majority of the targets. But, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a positive, I guess look at Adam Thielen, what he did.
Yeah, Adam Thielen looks like he's 100% healthy. Great to see that. Another positive, kind of positive, I guess. I mean, Cam Dantzler was out there a lot. He was out there with Devontae Adams. They must have a lot of faith in him. And yes, they lit us up in the passing game, but Dantzler was actually pretty damn good in coverage. He was right there. Aaron Rodgers was just spot ass on today.
Yeah, I thought Cam Dantzler was a fucking turd, but yeah, I mean, he was there, but he was not breaking up the pass or putting his body in the right position. But he was there, I guess, watching the reception be completed many times. Many times.
All right. Well, other than that, as far as what went right, I think that about there isn't much. I'll say this.
I got one more thing. The Packers actually didn't run the ball as much as I thought they were going to. So I got to give a run defense a little bit of credit. Aaron Jones, 66 yards. Irvin had 38. Williams, 21. I actually thought Aaron Jones was going to go well over 100 in this game. So I do give them a little bit of credit for that. Overall, I guess they did rush for over 100 yards, 120-ish. But I thought that was going to be much worse. And I thought Shamar Stephen actually had some nice plays.
Yeah, the run game was, I would say the run game was not good, but it wasn't horrible. I mean, they averaged 4.9 yards a rush, which is kind of crap. But honestly, like you said, I imagine it being much, much worse. So I'll give them that. Stephen looked good.
You gotta give the Packers a little bit of credit. They're running a lot of these weird little, fake to flip, then flip the other way. Kind of, it was like almost like a Kansas City Chiefs kind of an offense there, where you weren't really sure where the ball was going to go at times. So I mean, look at the guys. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different ball carriers. So I mean, they were spreading that thing around in the backfield, which is something you don't see all the time. I mean, they had one receiver, 4 different backs touch the ball. So they spread that thing around.
Let's get into the thick of things here. What went wrong?
Well, there's one thing when looking back at this game that you have to say is the number one reason why the Vikings lost this game. And that was there was no pressure on Aaron Rodgers at all. I don't think he was even touched. I don't think he was hit. Harrison Smith got close early, and that was it. He never seemed to be under any type of duress. There was points where he literally had seemed like 90 seconds to throw the football. No one was even getting close to him. Yannick Ngakoue was just dancing with David Bakhtiari. I think he actually lowered his hand and grabbed his butt cheek at one point and breathed deeply into his ear. It was embarrassing. And that's why the Vikings lost this game. They gave Aaron Rodgers way, way too much time in the pocket.
Way too much time in the pocket. When you have a young secondary like the Vikings have, that is the last thing you can do. That's what we did. Like you said, zero pressure. I actually thought Odenigbo had a actually somewhat decent game. Yannick, he hasn't been with the Vikings that long. Not a great debut by him. I think he will definitely show that he was worth that trade eventually, but he just didn't do it in this game whatsoever. And the Vikings' young secondary, they need all the help they can get up front. They need that pressure. They didn't get it, and they showed that they just had a horrible game. I mean, the secondary was absolutely brutal.
Well, and that's a mix of the lack of pressure and the lack of experience. That Holton Hill especially had a horrible game. Just never seemed to figure out. He was always like 2 steps behind Devontae Adams. You look at all the times too. Vontaze Scaldez was wide open and dropped the football. He could have had damn near 200 receiving yards today. And again, I think if you can increase that pass rush and get some pressure on Aaron Rodgers, that'll help that inexperienced secondary. And some of the blame has to go to Mike Zimmer here because he was not mixing shit up enough to where, especially even at the half, do something different. Get creative. I mean, create pressure. If your guys aren't doing it up front, figure out a way to make it happen because you cannot let Aaron Rodgers sit back there and pick you apart because he will.
Well, I think you're being too nice when you say some of the blame has to go to Zimmer. I think a majority of the blame has to go to Mike Zimmer when you give up this many points, this many yards, and how gross that was, because 522 yards could have easily been 600-plus yards if Valdez-Scantling could actually catch the damn ball. Gross. Yuck. You seem to think that the offensive line had a pretty decent game. I thought it was pretty horrible.
I thought they played enough to where the Vikings could have won or at least done a little bit more. I didn't think they were like the reason they lost.
Well, and the announcers kept saying, hey, the Vikings scored 34 points, and it's because the Packers were playing off a little bit. I didn't think they were playing off at all. Alexander was up in everybody's grill. Thielen's touchdowns, he was right on his ass. So I don't think they let up a ton. And I think Zadarius Smith had that one sack. He did his thing. Zadarius Smith really burns my ass. Huh?
I hate him.
Yeah, I know you do. But I thought we kept them in pretty good check. I mean, when the offense puts up 34 points, it's even tougher to swallow, honestly. Our defense was just full-blown crap. I mean, Jeff Gladney wasn't out there that much. Cam Dantzler is definitely ahead of the game when it comes to him. Holton Hill, very, very, very ugly out there. Mike Hughes, even that Devontae Adams touchdown they had, he was right there. It was just Aaron Rodgers was dropping freaking dimes.
Well, and that's something we should mention too. Rodgers was spot on today. He was putting balls where only his guys could catch it. He's not always like that, but yeah, he was feeling it. He was in his groove. So you gotta give him credit for that. Couple things. Yeah, you mentioned Gladney, and if you see Holton Hill struggling, it's not like he's got a ton of experience out there. Why not make a switch? Why not go with Gladney? Try something. Go with Chris Boyd. Mix it up. I don't know why you give an extended leash to a guy like Holton Hill where he really doesn't have that much experience to have earned a long leash. So if it's not working, try something else.
Yeah, I would have been fine if they put Dan Chisna out there.
Where was Dan Chisna today? I thought he would have had some huge hits, but I guess the Packers never had a punt. So
yeah, no, we didn't get to see that.
Hey, KJ Osborne, he had 2 returns. I don't know that one. I did not think he looked very fast, but
hey, you know what? All I want KJ Osborne to do right now is catch the ball, and he
looked confident doing that.
So I'm very happy with that. That was not an issue one bit. I don't know. It was very gross to give up 43 points. They just didn't look good at all. Even our linebacking core, Eric Kendricks. Everything was on him. He was just all over the place because no one else was holding their own. Eric Wilson had a couple ugly missed tackles. Very disappointing to see that.
The whole defense, especially the first half, it was so many missed tackles. It was ugly. It was just this was not the defense you're used to seeing. But yeah, I mean, every guy was missing tackles, and it took 2-3 guys to finally bring somebody down, and then you jump. I thought Everson Griffin was playing again. How many times we jump on 3rd and short? I know the opening drive we did that. In the beginning of the game, we're kind of doing the bend and don't break kind of a thing where you were letting the Packers drive down there, but we were buckling up late. And I thought, okay, we can win the game doing this. And then it just kind of got ugly after Cousins took that gross safety. Things just kind of seemed to go downhill from there.
Yeah, it was gross, and it's crazy to think that it was only a 9-point game. If you were not to even see the score, you'd think we lost by about 25 points. So the thing is, we're going to have to roll with the punches this year. Our secondary cornerbacks obviously are the ones that they're going to have big ups and big downs, and we're going to just have to rely on our defensive line. Daniil Hunter being out is huge. Yannick being brand new is huge as well. If we do not get any sort of pass rush, this is what we're going to see. We're going to see opposing teams put up a shit ton of points on us.
Yeah, and we're going to be 0-16.
We play the Colts next week. We'll see. We'll see.
Have any kind of confidence going into any game after this. I guess they can only get better from a defensive standpoint because it damn well can't get any worse.
Well, the Packers, and I hate to compare ourselves to the Packers, but Packers of years past did not have defense, and they relied on their offense putting up a ton of points, and they did pretty good. I think our offense is going to continue to put up a lot of points. Our defense just has to keep opposing teams in check, and I think they'll get there. I think they can do it. And like you said, Cam Dantzler did not have a fantastic game. But I'm actually a little happy about how he played, to be honest.
Dantzler?
Yeah. I thought he did all right. I thought he was right there. Right there on most of those.
He wasn't as bad as Holton Hill, but he was not great at all. I mean, not only was he blowing coverages, he missed his fair share of tackles too.
He did. But speaking of that, let's get into our stud. And turd of the game. Viking stud and turd of the game. I am going to let you go first. Let's start with the turds. Who is your turd Viking of the game?
This is the easiest decision of my life.
Yeah, we're going to have the same one.
little bit of a bad leg, I guess. But Yannick Ngakoue, what a fucking turd debut by this guy. No pressure whatsoever. Like we mentioned, he slow danced with David Bakatari the whole time. I think they started making out by the third quarter. I want my second-round pick back. Screw this guy.
Oh, my God.
Give me it back. I want it back right now.
No, he's going to be just fine. Just fine. He's got little help up there. They're just concentrating on him.
He did nothing.
He did nothing, but I got zero issues there. My turd of the game, I thought this was a gimme. Holton Hill, our secondary is young, but he is our veteran when it comes to cornerbacks, and he looked absolutely horrible out there. Holton Hill is my absolute turd of the game.
You know what helped Holton Hill? Some pass rush by Yannick.
Well, I don't put that all on Ngakoue at all whatsoever. He's just one guy. What do you got for the stud?
Why don't you start with the stud? Because then we might have the same guy.
Stud of the game, this was actually a lot closer than I thought it would be, because I think Kirk Cousins had a pretty damn good game. Not so much just what he's doing with his arm, but the fact that he was getting away from all that pressure and everybody up in his ass. But I got to go Thielen. 6 for 110, 2 touchdowns. The main reason I give this to Thielen is he was hurt a majority of last year. It is just fantastic to see him out there and ripping shit up. He was a man amongst boys out there, and he did very, very well. He's my absolute stud of the game.
Yeah, no doubt. He's a stud of the game. And the thing that makes him a stud of the game was everybody knows Cousins wants to throw the ball to him, knows he's the number one target, knows he's the number one option, yet he still goes for 6 for 110 and 2 touchdowns. So the fact he was able to get open, make the catches he did, and some of those are pretty classic Adam Thielen catches where you don't think he has any chance to make the grab, and he does. Again, he came to play. He's my stud of the game as well. And yeah, I'm really opposite with you on Cousins. I thought when it mattered, he sucked. When the game was out of reach, and all of a sudden he starts putting up some numbers. So I'm not feeling the same way about Cousins as you are.
Well, interesting. All right. Well, we do have the Colts next week. Hopefully we bounce back, go 1-1. And we just put this, we got our turd game out of the way for the season.
I don't know. I don't know if this is or I don't know who we are yet. And we're not going to know for a while. You got a young secondary. Zimmer's got to figure out something with his pass rush. That was not good. Who knows? Who knows what kind? I mean, it's too early to say. You want to bounce back with a better performance on the road against the Colts. And as far as a defensive standpoint goes, it can't get any worse.
Can't. We will get better.
And one good thing, it always seems the Vikings do play well against Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, Phil. All right. That is it. We'll be back tomorrow to talk more about this game, talk a little bit maybe about the Colts coming up. And yeah, we just got to, I don't know, just drink this one away, I guess.
Yeah, that's all you can do. But here's something you can at least think about if you're not thinking about this game. Armadillo shells are bulletproof.